Go, 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 go.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of The Fallen Badge. Today, the murder of Trooper Joseph Longobardo, New York State Police. Trooper Longobardo was 32 years old. He had 8 years with the New York State Police. He had a wife and a 1-year-old son. Now, he'd been a United States Marine, and he was currently serving at the time of his death with the Air National Guard. It's 2006. Suspect in this case, who's spent 20 of the last 23 years in state prison, escaped from I believe it was a county facility in Chautauqua, New York. Anyways, he was on the run. Now, June 10th, 2006, during a traffic stop near Elmira, New York, that's in the southern part of the state, he shot and wounded a trooper. Now, the police knew that this suspect had been receiving help from family and friends in his efforts to evade arrest. Now, during his time on the run, he'd stolen about 15 vehicles, and he'd been breaking into hunting camps and gun shops. So now the state police are going to send some people out and set up on some of these homes where they think that he might pop in at. It's August 31st, 2006. Longobardo and another trooper named Baker, they're on the mobile response team. Now, they're conducting surveillance town of Pomfrey there in Chautauqua County. Now, resource material varies. Some said it was a house of a relative, others said it was a house of his girlfriend. In any event, they're out in the wooded area watching the house. Our suspect, who's armed with a rifle, he snipes both troopers. Now, Trooper Baker, he gets shot in the lower back. Trooper Longobardo gets hit in the left thigh. Now, that wound causes severe bleeding, so they transport both troopers to the Erie County Medical Center in Buffalo. Now, Trooper Longobardo, he underwent a leg amputation surgery. They were trying to do this to save his life, obviously. However, he died the day following surgery. Now, the other trooper, he remained in critical condition for a good bit of time. In fact, at one point they had him in a medically induced coma. But from what I understand from the resource material, he pulled through. Now, the police weren't able to interview either one of the troopers to find out exactly what happened. They did figure out that one of the troopers did return fire, but they had no idea if the suspect got hit. They did figure out that the suspect was a little less than 100 yards away when he cranked off his rounds. So the manhunt continued for another week or so. September 8th, 2006, they finally capture the suspect. He's in a field just over the state line in Pennsylvania. Now, the day of his capture, when they had him up in the woods, the police were closing in and they were blasting away at the suspect in his romp through the woods. He was captured one day after the FBI had put this suspect on the most wanted list. That's probably the only time in his life that he was most wanted by anybody. November 29th, 2006, suspect pled guilty to the murder of Trooper Longobardo. He was sentenced to life in prison December 19th, 2006. State of New York, I think that means that's for his entire life, but I'm not for sure, and I don't know if it's changed since then. Just find it unfortunate. He's had a 1-year-old son, and I seriously doubt his son's going to remember what his daddy looked like other than a picture. Find it amazing that this suspect hated the police so bad, yet when he was ready to call it quits and give up, well, he didn't give that same option to Trooper Longobardo. Trooper Joseph Anthony Longobardo. End of watch September 3rd, 2006.